This unicorn.
I want to eat some kids.
Eating garbage without lids.
Okay, my turn. I want to go hang out with some skids.
In his underwear.
With skids. With skids. With skids.
'Cause you know I just don't care.
I have shit in my underwear.
With skids. With skids. With skids.
Pull him down. Chocolate with my bare ass.
I lick dogs, lick it off for pleasure.
Your dog. Your dog.
Shelly soup smells like a fart.
I
Because
definitely,
of the cauliflower.
it's definitely gonna make me short.
Tomorrow, tomorrow.
Ooh, 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 ooh.
Hamster died in a fire.
I like the charness up my butt.
Oh, Knuckles is still out there.
That's kind of.
Cottage cheese has expired.
I'm gonna let him in.
Hey, do you think that Lizzie Borden's house being for sale is weird news?
We already did that.
Oh, I did?
Yeah. We did that a couple of weeks ago.
I don't even know what I do anymore.
You ruined the thing. What the junk?
It was over. The
No, it
song
wasn't.
can only be so long.
Actually, we still got what?
It's looping, so it can be as long as we want.
I didn't ask you to ruin it. You just did that on your own.
Man,
Your finger must really hurt
it
today.
does. Oh!
Hey, wait. Shh.
Scientists, I read this earlier and I was like, holy shit, dinosaurs are coming, right? Scientists unveil first clone of endangered black-footed ferret. They
Yeah, I
cloned
saw that. I was like, God dang.
I never heard of
Dinosaurs are next.
That thing is still going.
It's a
It's
loop.
on loop.
Hey, didn't I give you some? Never mind.
Somewhat.
Oh, somebody
What was that noise?
somebody said something on Discord. It sounded like.
Yeah, I have it open. Sorry, I'll
Oh,
close it.
maybe Markham got on Discord.
He's gonna listen to our podcast through Discord.
Da, 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 da,
No, it's from my Classic Gamers Guild.
Do,
Okay,
do,
that's what that is.
do.
I found a
Bum.
headless unicorn.
Oh.
It
Oh.
was eating
Oh.
a baby that was stillborn.
But how was it able to do that without its head?
It was before it was dead.
Ah, now I understand.
I'm gonna need some bleach from my eyes. I'm scarred for life. Holy crap, that was nice.
We should do pre-roll like this every week.
Hey, you're a party pooper. You're not laughing at our jokes.
That's because I just found
She's
out that
concentrating.
there is a fungi out there that turns flies into zombies. Okay, that's why.
I already knew that.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that's a good one.
Old
There-
news.
You know what? That same fungi turns frogs into zombies too.
It turns the frogs gay. The frickin' frogs gay.
Turns the frogs gay.
All right, Alex Jones.
Hey, I'm halfway there. My name's
Actually, no, I was calling your dad that because he was impersonating him.
Turns the damn frog. The frickin' frog's gay.
Speaking of which,
Do y'all have any conspiracies?
do we want to make fun of Rush Limbaugh since he's dead now?
No.
I don't think that we should be making fun of him.
No,
That
I
guy.
don't think so. Isn't that what Dustin said? Don't make fun of him.
Yeah, he did say that actually.
Yeah. And I mean, isn't he our deity?
No.
Yes, he is. And we should draw a picture of Dustin and like and make JJTM Jesus candles.
Oh my god.
I have a question for you. So when's the wedding? When's the wedding, Matt? With you and Dustin?
Dustin and Robotuner. We haven't seen nothing like that since Lady Diane.
Lady Diane.
Yeah,
My question
she
is...
married up to the royalty.
Oh.
My question is, who do you think would look better in the dress?
He said
He's got a pretty
from
face.
from behind. He's that guy that they always turn around and there's oh, it's a hot chick, and they turn around as a dude.
You sure do got a pretty face.
You got a pretty mouth.
Yeah.
Deliverance.
Well, I said face because
Squeal like a pig.
does anybody have any conspiracy theories?
Oh, I got plenty about our country, but no.
There was something I
don't feel like that's not my job.
I know, but
That loop is hilarious.
It is
I
hilarious.
had one,
Yeah?
but I've already forgotten it.
Oh.
I don't know why I find it so funny to play chipper music and say really bad shit with it.
That was hilarious, man.
I gotta sneeze.
Okay, we'll do it now.
Ow.
And cover your mouth.
That's the shoulder that hurts, brother.
Yeah, but you still have to sneeze.
Yes, actually.
Why does your shoulder hurt? Are you being a little bitch right now?
He's being a little bitch.
No, yes, but no. I woke up wrong, and it's just been hurting all day long.
Oh, that's what little
He
bitches
woke up
say.
wrong.
It hurts to move my neck, but I can still do this.
Oh, you can?
No, I can't.
I hate neck
He
cricks.
slept with Captain Crick last night.
Captain Crick instead of...
Is that
They
how,
went around as Uranus looking for Klingons.
my question is that how you say Captain Kirk if you're dyslexic?
No. That's not how you say Captain Kirk if you're dyslexic.
Well, they would just rearrange it around Kirk. You know. I'm funny, dang it.
I got it.
But not even you didn't laugh at it.
Sorry, I was yawning
Okay,
at the time that you
it's
told
not
it.
April.
What's not April?
Hey,
This
it's
thing says April 22nd, 2021.
What thing?
What, the...
the publication date?
What are we talking about?
The World Economic Forum?
No.
What are you talking about?
Look,
Publication date of what?
2021.
Wacky.
Date and time. It says Thursday, April 22nd, 2021 at 2 p.m.
What if they're time travelers, idiot?
Don't call your aunt and my romantic life partner an idiot.
My everlasting gobstalker.
Gobstalker?
Stopper.
I'm a gobstalker.
She's a gobstalker.
What types of gobs does she stalk?
What type of gobs does she stalk?
We're missing the chipper music loop. All right.
Slime and snails.
Are we all ready to begin?
Yes.
Okay. Then here we giz.
Here we jizz.
I said giz.
No.
Are you saying that because I say 5432 erect penis?
No.
Yes, that's exactly why.
Okay. So 5432 cell phone tower. Or no, utility pole. Thawed out utility pole.
The following audio program contains mature content, including offensive language. Listener discretion is advised.
Play the radio. Make sure the kids hear words.
You're talking to the guy that remembers everything.
Remember that time we butt fucked?
I don't feel okay with that. I really don't.
Robotuner's a loser.
You know, I'm not even saying anything anymore
Why?
Or maybe it's just I'm hogged up on caffeine.
because y'all get on to me for even saying anything. I'm done.
No,
I'm done.
I
I'm
didn't.
done.
You're supposed to fight back. Look.
I feel like you have a boner right now.
I don't.
I do.
The land of Fujiwa is a shitocracy.
First and foremost, I am not fucking Robotuner.
Robo, fuck you.
That would be so tender.
Oh my
Number
God.
one.
That's the play for a stripper to just go, oh yeah, I listen to all of them all the time.
Why did the stripper turn to Matt
So where's
Thomas?
the stripper from?
Thomas, is that you, man?
I thought it was genius, Robotuner. You did a fantastic job.
It is. I thought I just wanted some money so I could buy some pop screen filters.
You dress up well, Thomas, man. I didn't know you were into this.
You little LARPer, you.
Someone shoot me. I have to live with him.
All these podcasts in my feed, but something's wrong. Not a single one I follow, they sing their own theme song. Now I have my own and I really must say, please offer us advertisement so we
I found
can do this for pay. Do this for pay. Back in 2015, just a desktop and 2 mics. We found it hard on social media to get any likes. Then we got new equipment and the world was much more fun. 3 years had gone by, now our studio is done. RoboTuner, master of debacle, sitting at the helm.
Sushi keeping bat in check, true ruler of this realm.
Thunder K shocking both their asses into gear.
Alex the intern. Why am I even here?
We're glad that you have joined for this occurrence of our show. We can't think of lyrics for this part, so here we go. The song is almost over, starting at last. Broadcasting from the dungeon at Castle Fujiwa. It's RoboTuner's Insignificant Podcast.
Occurrence 123, 123, for Sunday, February 21st, 2021, in the year of the animal that shouldn't pull your wagons after a deep freeze because it'll get stuck in the mud.
Premature oscillation.
Oh,
Whoa.
oh shit.
What is going on?
What he just said. Greetings, RoboTuner coming at you from the dungeon at Castle Fujiwa. Back again with that low budget. What the hell? What the hell? Back again with that. What the hell, Shirley? Back again with that low budget podcast style for your listening enjoyment, amusement, disgust, or all of the above. Take your pick. Joining me and back this week for this show is my existing romantic life partner, Sushi.
Partner.
Sorry. Ooh.
Wow.
Well, there is something you said earlier that I want to bring up in reference to that Freudian slip, albeit unintentional. And also, back in the dungeon to my right, Gritty Electric's spokesperson, Thunder K.
No. Ex-spokesperson.
Oh yeah, now. And then Alex the intern.
He's like, what's Gritty Electric?
I'm tired of.
Hey,
You dirty rat.
You dirty rat. Oh, you beat it. You beat me to it.
This is some bull crap from you guys. She gets some cool freaking intro. He gets to be the ex-spokesperson, and I just get to be
I'm
Alex
his
the intern.
partner. I didn't get no cool intro.
I'm some guy I don't even know. Which I feel is still an upgrade from the bag of shit next to me.
I have never used that as an intro line for you.
Yet.
Our last
and I never will.
Our last episode.
I have too much
if that
respect for you,
happens.
unlike your sister across the way.
He's like, and sitting right next to me is the bag of shit that I just laid in the toilet. Thunder K.
Thunder K.
He is the release from the super stress you have after a mean shit. Get it? Special Thunder K.
I think we're
Or
missing
Dad in your case.
Oh, we're missing some music here.
Oh, are we? Oh.
That piece of shit next to me, Thunder K.
So, if you watch our live streams on YouTube, either live or the pre-recorded versions of it, we actually we sung some ridiculous shit over this loop.
This is our
I can't even recreate it.
Serious news loop.
Yeah.
That's where we go to talk about the heinous crimes of raping grandma.
Ew.
Or
elephant stomping on people's pee-pees.
Yes.
Oh.
You're out of control.
Ouch. But for now, I said, but for now.
But for now.
Yeah, that was your cue.
Yeah, dummy.
Yeah, but for now, we have survived possibly the worst snow and ice storm in the history of our state of Texas, where every single county was on a winter alert. And the biggest debacle that happened because of it was our state's electric grid was not able to keep up with the demand for the entire state throughout the week, which resulted in over 4 million people losing their power and or well, I don't know about that exact number, if it's 4 million, and or having to deal with possibly freezing pipes and other plumbing issues, including hot water heaters.
It's amazing how society breaks down after 1 week of a major 1 week. There was no there was no food in the stores. There was no gas in the gas stations.
Mm-hmm.
This goes to show that we are completely dependent upon
Modern
everything
infrastructure.
modern around us in order to survive. Because if anything were to go wrong, we would be stuck.
Mm-hmm. Seemingly. I mean, survival skills can only get you so far nowadays.
Well, no, survival skills would be fine if this were like end of days. I was like, it seemed like, is this end of times? We're in a pandemic.
A pandemic.
There's people with no electricity. There's people with no water. I'm like, that's crazy, right?
It is crazy.
You know, if we were to declare, this was an emergency and this really was end of times, I'm sure there are those of us out there that have been trained to use our skills.
Yeah.
To live beyond this messiness.
Yeah,
Besides those that are in the U.S. military and other countries' military, because I'm sure they have survival skills all of their own besides that involves direct combat.
I tell you, it's crazy. I've been in Texas all my life, and I have never seen all counties and all across the Texas in a winter alert. I mean,
yep.
Houston was frozen over, therefore hell has frozen over.
Right. I was shocked.
Houston is always so hot and humid.
Mm-hmm.
The lowest they get down there is like maybe 40 something, but it's never below freezing. But it was this time, and my mom was without water. I think she was okay on electricity, but their water is from a well and their pump froze. And so they couldn't have any water. The only running water they had was in a sink, and it was cold water out in my stepfather's shop. And so they had to get buckets full of water to be able to flush the toilet, which, hey, that's better than some people who had no water, no electricity, and no way to keep warm.
And pipes frozen after the fact.
Yeah, that's bad too.
That was my biggest concern. I mean, you and I were extremely fortunate in this sushi because we had power and water the entire time. Now our city is under water restrictions until further notice because of the main breaks that are happening, and one of the two main plants, water treatment plants that service us, one of the two of them is still having issues. So, but we've been able to do everything that water normally is used for.
Yeah, a lot of people are joking about the fact that
just have to limit showers.
They're starting to look for houses, and they're like, I want to make sure my house is on the same grid as a hospital.
Which ours likely is, which is another reason why I think we never lost it.
Yeah, we didn't have any of the rolling blackouts or any of that stuff.
Yeah, we didn't either.
We were prepared. Like, we had already wrapped our pipes on the outside. We had we have heaters. Okay, so we have gas heaters, which are really old-fashioned. Our house is kind of old. But we had gas heaters in the bathroom for the gas bill, and we were able to keep those lit. And I know they tell you not to run your oven, but I turned the oven on just in case we were going to have a rolling blackout so that we would be able to have heat in the house. But we also have one of the carbon monoxide monitors. So because the whole reason they don't want you to turn your oven on is for carbon monoxide poisoning.
Right.
But we were good. We tested it, made sure it was working.
There was a huge uptick in carbon monoxide poisoning.
Yeah.
Through the holiday.
The holiday.
A few. Through the week. Yeah, a few people died from it.
It was snowvid.
Yeah.
Yeah, snowvid.
Snowvid. Yeah.
Through the winter holiday, snowvid.
Yeah, so we were fortunate, and now Thunder K, you and Alex lost power for just a couple hours at your house?
Yeah.
But you also had to deal with a frozen hot water line from your heater, didn't you?
Yeah, I broke in like 5 places.
Oh, it was 5 places? I thought it was just one.
No, it was 5 different places. I'd fix one, another one would show its ugly head, and then fix that one, another one show.
That's what happens with copper pipe, though. Yeah. I learned that lesson whenever I've worked on my parents' house. They had a copper pipe that's used for AC condensation drip, of all things. You think that shit would be PVC? No, it was copper.
Yeah. I think that the person that was hit the hardest out of our family was my dad. He had no electricity for hours upon hours upon hours. he had no water,
Oh,
and
36 hours.
Yeah.
His house wasn't properly insulated at all because we went back there.
He lives in a mobile home that was made in the 70s.
Yeah, me and him actually went back to his house to grab some things because they stayed with us over this whole thing because we had heat and electricity. So I mean, yeah, it was a little cold, but it was still bearable. Their house was, when we went, it was 29 degrees inside the house.
Yeah.
It was awful.
Damn.
Yeah.
Like we were only in there for like 15, 20 minutes, and my fingers were frozen.
Yeah. Now my good friend Dustin from the Jerry Jonestown Massacre, who lives not even a mile away from me, he was without power for nearly 4 straight days. He didn't get his back till Thursday night, I think.
Wow.
Yeah. I even offered to give him and his family and his pets shelter over here because her son has been at her mom's house, at Sushi's mom's house for the last month, and my daughter, I didn't see her at all this week, so I had spare beds we could have offered them, but they powered through. So.
Dustin in a big old pink bed.
That's my daughter's bed. Yeah.
No. It's her son's.
Oh, stop.
Yeah, between that, the pull-out couch that we have in our den, and your boys' shed next to us.
We both could have had bed and breakfast going on.
Yeah. Well, nobody stayed, so.
Yeah.
Nobody came over.
Well, it was a little far for Dad to go to your house, especially in that weather, and so he came over to my house, and.
So it was kind of a cool experiment because, I've got to take care of Mom and you got to take care of Dad, so that's how it's going to work.
I think I got the easier of the two.
I think you did.
Well, distance-wise, you do.
Yeah.
Your dad's not 4 hours away.
No.
And all he really does is watch movies the whole time.
Yeah.
So
he's very easy. Yeah, he's easy.
He's like a toddler. You just give him some popcorn, sit him down on the couch, and put a movie on, and he's content.
Yeah.
Or InfoWars. I had to get that jab in there. I'm sorry.
I gotta say, I think one of my favorite memories from this whole thing was like the last day they were there. We just all sat around and watched The Price is Right.
Yeah.
It was so dumb to watch, but it was also very entertaining.
Is Drew Carey still hosting it?
Oh, he's got a
beard.
Got a full
beard. It's really off-putting.
I don't like it.
I heard that. Yeah.
I looked at it and I was like, that's not Drew Carey. You're lying to me.
Well, yeah, that's weird for people of your dads and your aunts and my generation because we grew up watching his sitcom, The Drew Carey Show, and he was always clean shaven on there.
He looks like a gnome. He looks like a gnome.
He probably knows that he looks like a gnome, and that's why he did it.
Yeah.
It's funny. This episode, he was just like, we're bringing out all the beards today. It was like it felt like his announcement that he's like, I'm having the beard, I'm keeping the beard. It was kind of felt like that kind of an episode.
I'm in awe because 2 days ago there was snow on the ground and now it's 70 degrees outside.
Well, that was a high today. Yes, it's in the 50s now.
I was like, holy crap!
Upper 50s.
I didn't even yesterday. RoboTuner and I went to Home Depot and Lowe's because we were bored and wanted to get out of the house, and those are my favorite places to go. And
can also be very dangerous.
Yeah, it can because we might spend some money. But anyway, there were plumbing pipes everywhere. I mean, you could tell the guys that were coming into Home Depot and Lowe's were definitely plumbers because some of them were even wearing those rubber boots that go up to their butt.
Well, was their pants hanging down a little too far?
Yeah, just a little bit. They had plumber's
then they're
disease.
real plumbers.
Well, she'd be looking anyway.
Oh my gosh. Anyway.
Ooh, you got to think for
She
plumbers.
only wants to see if they have chocolate filling.
Ew, no.
Nice.
Do yourself crickets for that, man.
What size coin to throw in the
No, you don't have
slot.
to. I'm just kidding.
Just trying to see what size coin to throw in the slot. That's all.
I think she likes the chocolate filling.
Anyway,
Well, what's the prize though? What's the prize if you make it?
The prize is the reaction.
Well, they give you all $100.
You put a penny.
It's not a stuffed animal or.
You throw a penny in the crack,
kind
and
of-
they're like, "Oh, that is the prize."
What
Well,
if
I'm trying to compare it to a carnival game. That's why I asked.
What if you throw it in there and then actually went cha-ching?
Dude, that would
Who would be
shock
more
me.
shocked, you
Me.
or him?
I definitely would be shocked for sure.
It was like, does that mean you have to fix my pipes for free now?
What if you did it and
Yeah.
he handed you a phone?
That actually has a double on. That's a double
Hold
entendre
on,
right there, Alex.
Are you saying if I throw a penny in a crack and he hands me a phone,
It's like a payphone.
I'd be like, hello?
Oh, God dang.
Cha-ching, here you go. You got 2 minutes.
I don't think that's a thing yet, but all right.
Let's make it a thing.
I don't think throwing pennies down guys' cracks at Home Depot is a thing either.
No, I don't think so either.
I can see that as a new challenge.
Yeah. But
At the very least, they could press charges at you for criminal assault
Well, that means that you pressed your charge first.
or mischief.
Could you
know,
imagine
threw a
having to
little
go
money
to
in there?
court for that? Yes, Your Honor. I was at Home Depot and my pants were down a little bit, and Sushi, pointing over at Sushi, she threw her coin into my crack. I've never felt so violated in all my life.
I tripped. Your Honor, I tripped, and all my change that was in my hands...
I tripped and fell into her crack. His crack.
Fell into his crack. But why was it only 1 penny? Because that's all the change I had in my hand.
They pull up like security footage and just like
and Shelly's around the corner going.
she's got like a bag, like a sock full of pennies, just trying to like keep missing every shot and just throws them.
But the big question is, if found guilty, what is the sentence?
What is the penalty for penny and crack?
Oh my gosh.
You'd have to have a sexual offender sign in your
Oh
front
my
yard.
gosh.
She can't hire any plumbers to her house. She has to do her own plumbing.
Shelly's face is on the sex offender website with. Hold on, let's play this music. Shelly's face is on the front of the sex offender's website, and she.
For throwing a penny.
And
in
it says
a
on their
guy's
little
crack.
underneath their names.
And she has to go door to door and like, I'm a registered sex offender. What'd you do? I threw a penny in some guy's crack.
Oh my gosh. I'm just going to stick to you guys. I'm going to throw pennies in y'all's cracks, okay?
I'll take your ass to court.
You've actually tried to do that on me a few times.
I have.
Yeah.
No.
Well,
That's why
let's
why this is realistic to y'all, because I've done it to all of you at one point at a time.
Oh, man. So, with that being said, we're all glad that the ice has melted. Although at the very center of the catastrophe that happened over the last week with millions of people being without power and or water is ERCOT, our state's Electrical Reliability Commission of Texas is what it stands for. And this just broke news today. The Texas Attorney General's office is indicting them along with 12 other power companies that were that allegedly had gouged their rates over the last week. And the one that's at the top of the media list is Gritty. That's the company that I was referencing that you're the former spokesperson for at the beginning.
Wow, what a piece of crap.
That's calling me a bag of shit without calling me a bag of shit.
He's gonna get closer and closer to it until like eventually he's just gonna go.
I was wondering when you were going to bring Gritty up.
Call Thunder K a bag of shit without calling him a bag of shit.
Anyway, but the reason why them specifically as a power company for price gouging over the last week is being talked about more than any of the others is because they actually told their customers to leave because of what they said that they had to do because of them saying, well, they actually pointed the finger at ERCOT. They said that they're making us raise our rates because of the historic high demand that the state can't keep up with for our power grid.
Yeah, they approved it. But just FYI, Mom called me today, and she's like, do you know what the electric bills are going to be like? This guy on the news, his electric bill was $15,000. And I was like, Mom, I go, that's Gritty, and not everybody has Gritty, and they're the only ones that are doing that.
Yeah, I never even heard of them until the story ran.
Huh?
15,000 or 1,500?
$15,000.
I think I'm switching to a different electric company and leaving that bill behind.
Well, that electric company is telling you to leave them. Just leave us.
And
yeah,
from the posts I saw on social media, commenting on that story, people were already coming out of the woodwork saying my bill's already thousands of dollars. I tried to switch, but I was denied, or I couldn't switch in time before the storm got here. Yeah, it's freaking awful, man. The state's going to have a mess on their hands once this finally goes to court.
They're probably going to have to declare a state of emergency on it, and
so
Biden already approved us for being in a state of emergency for a natural disaster last week.
There's a conflict though.
That's for FEMA efforts though.
There's for FEMA efforts, all of our counties are covered. Now, there's a little thing going around on Facebook right now that it's like 77 counties were granted a state of emergency, and there were the 77 counties that were not Republican, they were Democrat in the dang, I can't talk today, sorry. In the presidential race, but number one, there were not 77 counties that were red in the presidential race. There were like maybe 23. And number two...
Do you mean not the other way around? Because you just said there's 23 counties that were red.
Red is
Republican.
Republican, yeah.
Oh, shit. I meant blue. Sorry.
Okay.
So anyway, long story short, what the deal is that all of the counties are considered in a state of emergency, but there's another thing that they have to have, and the judge that resides over that county has to apply for it, and then the president will approve it. And so that's why there's 77 counties that are already approved for help, because their judges already applied for it and were granted that help. The other counties have not applied for that help yet.
Okay. It makes me wonder if there are any of the outlining counties in the less populated areas.
Yeah.
Or
I don't know. All I know is that
just thought.
Really, I saw that go across my page, and I was like, someone's not doing their research. They're just posting shit to post shit, which happens. Both sides do it.
Yeah.
And I was like, really and truly, when you see something like that, you just need to do your research before you say, oh, that's true. I can't believe that's happening.
Yeah, definitely don't believe anything that's on Facebook without looking directly at it.
And looking for sources.
Yeah, either side. I mean, this thing went oddly political the second that it broke.
Of course it did. But
instead of, to me, the first thing that should happen is the people need to be helped. And then
right.
later, you can figure out what went wrong.
So that's another thing, too. And I know you didn't bring this up.
What's that?
But it's, so you know how we have all these things that are happening all over the United States, and the reaction from people is what? To go out and go to the stores and steal things and tear things up.
Yeah, looting and rioting.
And riot. Not a single person in Texas did that. What did we do?
No.
We reached out to each other. We said, come stay with us. We shared food. We did what we could to take care of each other, and that says a lot.
Yeah, I think so too.
It says a lot about our state.
We are the friendship state.
Yeah, we are.
I thought we were the Lone Star State.
Well,
I guess we're that too. I mean, that's the official moniker for our state.
We're also the gun state.
We have a lot of criticism, but when it comes down to it, we're the most friendly state out there, I believe.
Yeah, and we're getting a lot of criticism nationally because of our power grid state and the fact that Texas is the only state that has their own instead of a co-op one with other regions.
So let me tell you about that too.
Okay, yeah, because I don't really know how big of a part that actually played in what happened or not.
So not just our state, our whole entire country has an old power grid system built in the 50s and 60s.
Right.
And it was built to last maybe 20 years. And where are we at now? Like, we're way
60,
beyond
70
that
years,
time,
yeah.
Right?
Beyond.
We're way beyond that time.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing is that we are behind when it comes to power. We are behind on a lot of things when it comes to that. And this is proof of what to expect in the future if we don't start taking care of it.
Yeah.
Now, I don't necessarily feel like, well, think about it like this. We want to go all electric, right? Because that we want to get away from fossil fuels and gas and things like that.
Yeah.
When you say all electric, you mean renewable energy?
Yeah, renewable energy sources.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like electric cars and things like that.
Hydrogen, yeah.
But we don't have the ability to do that right now because our grid won't handle it. Like we're operating at almost full bars, whatever you want to call it.
Full capacity.
Full capacity at all times. I can't even talk because y'all keep making.
I'm helping you.
I know, but when you help me, it's like I'm not having a real conversation. So don't help me. Don't help me.
Duh.
All right. So anyway,
I just asked to clarify
I know
what you meant.
I know. So anyway, I'm done with my story, but we need to upgrade our grid, figure out a different way to do this, Because in the future, if we are going to go to all electric cars, we're going to need something more than what we have right now.
All I gotta say is they keep talking about infrastructure packages, even back in the Trump administration, and I haven't seen not one positive thing happen from an infrastructure point of view. And Texas does a really good job of keeping their roads, nice.
Yes.
But
yeah, as far as our highways and whatnot,
with what you said, everybody always kind of puts power on the back burner or they kind of duct tape and bailey wire the system together.
Yeah, short term.
And I kind of agree that it is time. Things like, how in the world do you not address windmills freezing up?
I know. Like, why? Well, in Texas, we don't have that issue here because we don't have freezes.
But there's
like
other
this.
states that use windmills that obviously have some
heaters that keep the motor from freezing.
They have animal friendly antifreeze that they use, that they can pump through there and maybe break up that ice. I don't know. I just have to think that there's got to be windmills freezing. I never would have guessed that one in the 2021 bingo. But
they're using up in Texas right now. They've got big pieces of land where they're using up a bunch of real estate.
But it's usually
for solar panels now.
Well, the windmills are usually in places where you just can't build because they're just solid rock, or and there's a lot of wind throughput. But
windmills are just like everything else. They're only built to last a certain period of time.
15 years.
Yeah, and then that's it.
Really?
Yeah. And then where does
all
all
that
that
the entire
material,
thing, or just to replace the propellers?
Entire thing. Entire thing. They have to tear it down.
Okay, but I hear this point all the time,
right?
And you got to think the generators that run off of coal or steam generators, they don't last that long either, and you're having to replace them. Now there's far less bad material in a windmill than there is in a steam generator.
Okay, I hear what you're saying, and maybe we could recycle, but right now I don't think they're doing that, and all that's going in the landfill.
Well, I mean,
yeah,
that's a totally different.
It's fiber. They're fiberglass. I mean, fiberglass is easy to recycle.
Yeah. It's just that everybody's got like their heat points on their conversations and how they think that it should go. Oh, well, we can't do windmills because of this, and this, and we can't do water because of this, and this. And it's like back and forth. We just need to make a decision and go with it.
Yeah.
So that's how I feel about it.
It's funny. Everybody hates nuclear, but if you put a nuclear power plant in a stable location like Texas has.
Yeah, we have one in Glen Rose.
Yeah, and the spent fuel rods, they're actually finding that you could use the spent fuel rods as batteries in power plants. So it's not like the nuclear waste of yesteryear is the same. They're finding new ways to expand that technology, but everybody's so afraid of it because of the Captain Power days when they were talking about sticking jugs of toxic waste in mountains.
Well, I don't think that you can necessarily call it nuclear waste anymore.
Was that a plot line of the show? I don't remember that.
Yes, it was.
I loved that show when I was a kid, but it only lasted one season because it was way too expensive to produce. And I used to have not the X-Wing, but the X9 jet fighter that you used to shoot at the TV and watch the VHS videos.
Did I say Captain Power?
Yeah, you said Captain Power.
Planet.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Captain Power. Well, the fortress of the enemies in that show was called Castle Volcania, and I thought that's that was part of it.
No, it was Captain Planet.
Okay, yeah, fuck Captain Planet, man. Captain Power was a shit. That show should have gone on for 5 years, damn it.
You had to know that was part of it because that was anyway.
Yeah.
That show is so ahead of its time too.
Captain Power.
Yeah, Captain Power. Captain Power. Yeah, Captain Planet was appropriate for its time because that's one of our environmentalists. Environmentalism was on the rise.
I had the bad guys jet in the Captain Power.
Yeah, and you would shoot at the good guys' shots and targets instead of the bad guys' shots. Yeah, it was just reversed.
It came with a video cassette that you could play and shoot at the TV.
There were 3. I had 2 of them.
Yeah, I only had one.
Good for you.
We were poor folk.
Yeah, we were poor.
But they did have the cartoon on Saturdays that you could sit there and shoot.
Yep, I did that too. Actually, it came on Sundays on WGN. Well, that's how I remember it.
Well, you're younger than him, so there's that.
Yeah. Anyway, that show was great, man.
Thanks, Shell.
I missed it.
Yeah, you old. You're so old.
You're so old and you're such a sack of shit.
Nobody's calling you.
You're
a sack
losing
of
your
shit.
hair, and you just
You're
look
that
like crap.
guy who's trying to price gouge people. Thunder K.
You mean the spokesman of the company that was trying to? That's what it was actually. And then I backpedaled and I said former, if you remember.
Yes, that made it better. Thank you.
I don't hate you.
You're a former douchebag.
You're a former
Contrary
piece
to
of shit.
popular belief of those others in this room. Jeez.
Why are you trying to always defend yourself, huh?
No.
Huh?
You know, but they're also talking about there's new technologies rising with nuclear anyway, because there's new ways to do fission. Like I've heard a guy talk about a gel core instead of a solid core nuclear power plant, which would produce less waste. And all it needs is for those atoms to fission off in order to create heat and power.
What about the eaves?
Sure. Sure.
Dad, just do it. Just do it right now, please.
There we go.
No, that's some serious creation right there, man.
Oh.
All right, that's it. That's I quit.
Did you do your zipper? Lovely.
Oh.
He's getting excited over there with all these crazy jokes that he's saying.
Yes. Well, the other thing I wanted to touch on is not funny, unfortunately. So.
Oh, hold on.
I just. This isn't for me. This is for her segment. So I just found out from my ex that my daughter, my daughter's stepdad, and her brother have all come down with COVID-19.
Oh.
Yeah. What had happened is that I was watching Ainsley, my daughter, and her half brother for the better part of last week, while her mom, my ex, went off to a company retreat that was hosted by her employer. It was everybody in the company and their spouses that were invited. Anyway, it was some ranch in Glen Rose, I think. Anyway, like two days before, she had messaged me saying that she was starting to not feel well, and neither was my daughter. And she said that that her boss and a few of her coworkers had tested positive for COVID after they came back from that trip, and they were around them too. So, yeah, it's suspected that that's where they picked it up from, and then they gave it to both the kids too. So, I don't know how long she's going to be quarantined, or it's anywhere from 7 to 14 days. I don't know, because stuff keeps changing, but it's just kind of sucks, you know.
Well, the sad thing is it's not even over yet, right? Because they're not even sure you can't get COVID again. That's why they're trying to push for vaccinations.
Yeah, and I mean, who knows how long she's going to be sick, and then it's quarantine after that. It's not like you quarantine and she comes to our house sick, right? It's
right.
You wait till she's done being sick and then you quarantine, which is sad because we're not going to get to see her for that long period of time.
I know it. Yeah.
COVID sucks.
I say we sue COVID.
You can't sue a virus.
Sure you can.
It doesn't happen. The closest you could do is sue the lab that it originated from, but I mean, I'm sure that's already been done by countless entities out there.
How can you sue something that's not in your country?
No, I'm not talking about our country. I'm talking about anywhere.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm suing the bat.
I mean, technically, the coronavirus was in several laboratories.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just not this variant.
Yeah, and it was around before last year, just not the COVID-19 variant. Yeah, because it was on cans of Lysol too.
Yep.
Anyway, but yeah, that just kind of has me down because I'll miss my girl while she's recovering.
Yeah.
Y'all can FaceTime each other.
Yeah, and we still talk on the phone too. So anyway, as I mentioned last week for our show, I'm in a project called Sting Flamingo with my good friends from the Jerry Jonestown Massacre and a couple of their other musician friends, and I played the first track Fatal Flaw, that mostly completed track last week. Now, I wasn't able to join him this week because I had other stuff going on, but they had forwarded me another song that they had worked on yesterday. This one is called Waco. It's pretty chaotic, too. I'll just play a little sample of this. No lyrics yet, by the way.
It's like you're playing the whole song.
That was just the first minute of it. It's like 4 minutes long.
Did you ask Dustin if it was okay for you to do this?
Ooh.
I played the other song last week.
I'm telling on you.
Whatever.
You know what it sounds like to me?
What's different to play a somewhat complete song with one that's not finished yet?
Yeah.
Well, and see, another thing is the bass tracks that are in there, are those ones you play?
No,
Yeah.
Dustin laid those down
Yeah.
just for starter stuff.
So, you know,
I think that you should stop teasing Stink Flamingo and you should wait till you get some finished songs and then tease it.
I'm excited to showcase the stuff that we've had.
Let him be excited.
My bad. I just think it's cool music, and I think it just needs to be completed so that everyone can truly appreciate the masterpieces that they're going to be.
You know, I like.
Would you like to produce it also?
I like it a lot, but it really gives me some it really reminds me of you know when people take 8-bit music and then they'll redo it and make it death metal.
Yeah,
that's what that kind of reminds me of.
Oh,
well, especially when it goes like that.
I'm not sure that's going to be taken as a compliment.
No, I don't think that would.
No, seriously, they make really good covers like that. I was in the car with your son one time we were here. We were driving up to Rosa's, and he was playing like Ocarina of Time, but revamped with death metal, with some hard rock. So good. I'm saying that sounds really good.
Markham has an amazing.
Your son? Yes.
Yeah, that's my son. I think he has an amazing ear for music.
Oh, he does.
Some of the stuff that he picks out, I'm like, where did you get this? Oh, I was on YouTube and I was looking around and I started listening to it, so I started listening to all of it. And so he does really well with picking out some good tunes.
Yeah, and it reminds me of that, and it's I think this is so cool. It kind of reminds me of like old school Doom a little bit.
Oh yeah,
I got you.
Alex, did you know that the original Doom and Doom 2 Hell on Earth, most of the games from the original MIDI soundtrack were just variations of existing metal songs?
Really? I didn't know that.
Yes. Look up on or when you get a chance, look up on YouTube Doom music versus actual songs. Yeah. Right. There's so many artists on there, from Metallica to Anthrax, Megadeth, Alice in Chains, Pantera. Yeah. You can hear it. You can hear it in so many of their songs.
Stone Temple Pilots type thing. Nice.
Yeah, that's another comparison too. But the one that I recognized right off the bat was Mouth of War by Pantera and Angry Chair by Alice in Chains. Yeah. Anyway, so in other music news, well, not really news, but just something I wanted to bring up. And Sushi and I were I introduced her to this guy's music earlier on today. So I have a Facebook friend named Kelsey Sharp, and for those that are involved in the local music scene, may know him as the former keyboardist of the Shaolin Death Squad, a former Doofer band who had I think 6 or 7 members. Mm-hmm. Anyway, he was a keyboardist, and they've been done as a band for a while, and after they disbanded, he actually made an entire prog rock metal solo project called the Delusionist Cycle. And as part of that album, actually, I don't know if it's part of that album or just a separate set of songs that he did, actually tells the story of Brigham Young. You guys know who that is?
Yes.
No.
You don't know who Brigham Young is?
No, I don't.
He's known.
Wow,
He's
okay.
known in the book. From what I understand, he's known in the Book of Mormon for having, I think, multiple wives. And now I don't know if the polygamy with the polygamy as far as being part of the Mormon religion originated with him or not. I really don't know because I've never studied the Book of Mormon, and I don't know anybody that is or used to be.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Me neither.
Yeah. Anyway, but he has a whole list of songs that chronicle this guy's story, and this is actually one of them.
Okay. I just want to tell you who Brigham Young is real quick.
Okay.
He was American religious leader, politician, and settler. He was the second president of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints from 1847 until his death in 1877. He founded Salt Lake City and served as the first governor of Utah Territory. Young also led the foundings of the precursors to the University of Utah and Brigham Young University. Okay?
Cool.
Anyway, so this is his newest song that was actually shared with me from my bandmates yesterday, or was it today? One of those days. Anyway, this one's called Thomas Brockman, and it's insane. I'll just play a little bit.
You have to watch the video.
Okay.
Look at his screen.
There's nothing on there but words.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh.
All right.
Is this the one we were watching earlier?
I did show you this one earlier, yeah, but this one does not feature the puppets, though.
Oh, okay.
That's one thing that I think is super entertaining about the music that he puts out. Kelsey actually has a puppet studio that he uses to make his own music videos of his, and he's actually created his own puppet band, kind of like the Rockafire Explosion at Showbiz Pizza and Chuck E. Cheese.
It's hilarious because, like, when they're playing the music and their puppet hands move across the guitars and the bass guitar, it's as if they're playing the instrument.
Yeah, they actually slide up and down the necks of the instruments.
It does. It's pretty cool.
Kind of synonymous of where the actual notes would be played, which I think is awesome.
Yeah.
And even the drummer, it shows little cutaways where you see the puppet foot go up and down on the bass drum pedal.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah,
That's
so
awesome.
it's definitely being a musician, he definitely has produced it to legitimately make it look like they're playing their instruments, which I think is hilarious. Oh man, it's like so cute, it's funny.
That sounds like it.
Yeah, he's even done some other stuff too. Like he did a public service YouTube commercial for the city of Denton, some kind of outreach program they were having for people that couldn't really spend time with their loved ones because of the pandemic. So anyway, yeah, shout out to Kelsey Grammer. Shit.
From Frasier?
No. Kelsey Sharp, yeah. So definitely follow his stuff on YouTube. It's it's good stuff. And with that, let's see what else I have here. By the way, that Sting Flamingo song was called Waco. So with that, considering that we were asked to conserve power over the last week, I really haven't played much games except for a little bit more Trials of Mana, but I already touched on that last week. What about you, Thunder K? More of the same?
No. We did conserve power. I mean, I have this Honeywell thermostat that is kind of
Hashtag not sponsored.
Not sponsored, right? Is tied to a subscription service that it'll regulate how much power we use. And if there is an emergency out there, it'll actually take over the thermostat and not let you change it past any recommended settings. So I just let that thing go and set my temperature for me, and we turned off every light we could. But I did play some video games.
Yeah.
So I played. There's a new game that came out recently that's kind of all the rage. It's called Valheim.
Yeah, I've heard you talk about this.
Valheim is probably the best survival game I've ever played. The graphics are beautiful, for one, and two, the game is very small. I mean, comparatively to other games that we played, it's only 500 meg.
Yeah, like content-wise, it's great, but storage-wise, it's small.
It is very small.
Is it a retro-style graphics?
No, it's full
really?
3D, made on the Unreal Engine.
How did you describe low poly?
It's low. The textures are kind of low quality.
Okay.
But the way that they put it together with the distance blurring and all that, it's hard to describe how beautiful this game is.
Wow, and it's even more impressive that you could have fit it on a single CD-ROM too.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. And so then, what I love about it is the game focuses extremely heavily on realism. Unlike all the other games, you know how you go and normally on survival games there will be a node that you just have to go pick up, and these have like you walk up to a tree, for instance, and you have an axe and you chop that tree down. It has an animation for the tree falling over, but not only does it have the animation for that, but if it happens to fall your way and to land on you, it'll kill you. And when it actually does fall down, if it starts rolling towards you and it hits you, it'll do damage.
And you could fall from like.
Yeah. So you could actually name your character Gray Gabbett so you could chop it down and have it land on you?
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Oh no, wait, no, not to chop it. You'd have to simulate a lightning storm. That's right, and have them run by it.
Well, whenever the log finally falls down, you have to go in and you have to section the log off and get, there may be 2 sections to the log, and you have to cut it down into.
I'm gonna go to hell for that.
Probably.
Anyway, so sorry, go on.
Then you have to collect the log pieces, and you're only allowed to carry a certain amount. When you go to build your house, you can't build the flames just anywhere. Yeah, well, you can't build a workbench just anywhere. You have to put it underneath a roof. It has to be under a roof.
Okay.
And the flame
makes sense.
You want it under a roof because if it rains, it'll put the fire out.
Yeah, that's.
If you build the
flame
sense inside your house, and you don't give a good ventilation for the flame, then your house will fill full of smoke.
And you can die of carbon monoxide poisoning.
Exactly. And, there's actually a story with it. You come in, and I'm not sure if it's a Valkyrie or what you can come in on. Do you know what it actually is? It looks like a big bird, but I always thought Valkyries were women.
I think y'all just keep talking. I'll figure it out.
But anyway, it's either sushi coming in. Some bird-like thing brings you there, and then this it kind of gives you a tutorial on how to do things, just like any other normal survival game. But what the thing actually makes you feel like how you would normally feel in certain weather conditions, like when you're out in the sun and it's a beautiful day and the sun comes up, it's really pretty. But when it rains, you actually want to go in your house because the rain just makes the whole game miserable. Everything's more miserable. You're sliding around. For instance, when you go to find tin's a shiny rock. Whenever you go out in the rain to go find tin, all the rocks are shiny. So you can, and other than moving your mouse cursor over it, you can't tell what's tin and what's not. So the rain actually is detrimental to everything that you do. Like climbing up a hill makes you slide backwards more. All the rocks are slick. They have animal husbandry in it, so you can catch boars and make them produce offspring.
Oh, okay. That's what you meant by husbandry.
What did you think? What did you think?
Bestiality.
Oh my God.
You can go deer hunting with a bow and arrow, and that is probably one of the funnest things you can do.
Yeah.
And the bows work on the stamina system in the game. So like you can't hold the bow for too long, or your stamina will run out.
Everything is kind of run off the stamina system. Running, jumping, And each one of those things is individually levelable. I mean, like from the get-go, when you start running, you level to level 2 for running. And jumping has its own level, and pretty much anything you can think of that you would do in this with this character has a level attached to it. Mining, chopping trees. And it's not like your axe is just for chopping trees like in some MMOs. You can actually turn that axe into a weapon, and all the weapons are kind of crude. And then you get past the Stone Age into the Bronze Age when you get past the first level boss. And then you start being able to mine, and eventually you're. I don't know if it's the same for everybody, because I know in my seed, everybody who starts a world gets their own world seed. He has his own world seed. I have mine. I'm on an island.
Yeah, we're both on islands. Mine's just a smidge a little bit bigger than his.
When you started playing, because I know this is a game where you can play up to 10 people in one place.
Right.
So when you log in, do you see him?
Oh,
no.
Well,
No.
because we're on our own separate worlds. But
we're on different world seeds, but you can invite people onto your seed to play.
We just haven't figured that out yet.
We couldn't figure out how to do it, but Justin says that he did. So
also, I did figure out what brings you in on the 10th world, because that's what it's called. You're the 10th world of the Norse worlds. It actually is a Valkyrie.
It is a Valkyrie.
It is a Valkyrie.
I was kind of thinking, but I always thought Valkyries were women. But
because if you go into the,
you're a Viking coming in off this Valkyrie, and they drop you on this island, and you're basically wearing rags.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
If you go onto Valheim's website, they say a battle-slain warrior. The Valkyries have ferried your soul to Valheim, the 10th Norse world besieged by creatures of chaos and ancient enemies of the gods. You are the nudist custodian of the primordial purgatory, tasked with slaying Odin's ancient rivals and bringing order to Valheim.
Okay.
I would suggest anybody just try the game out, because it's not your normal survival game.
And it's pretty cheap too, isn't it?
It's $20.
Yeah.
It's early access, so you don't know what all is going to be in it. One of the funniest things that I've found so far is you have limited bag space, and you can only carry so much. And you can only carry like 300 pounds. But if you go over 300 pounds, you become encumbered. And if you're walking with it, you end up stopping. And I was like, how are they going to defeat this? I mean, you can't just walk around with 300 pounds. So I unlocked a cart. And it's the funniest damn thing I've ever seen. Because it's a... You get this cart.
Is it like a shopping cart?
No. It's like
an old-timey
it's a horse and carriage cart.
Carriage kind of cart.
So it's got the arms.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you build this thing, and it comes empty, and you have to walk in between where the horse would go, and then you attach it, and it attaches to you with ropes, and you're just running around with this thing tied to you.
You look like a retard.
And every time you run over anything, like a rock, if you run over a tree, it damages the cart.
Oh, so that's like Death Stranding also.
So why do you have to run around with the cart? Why can't you take stuff that's in your bag back to the cart and then empty your bag and then keep going?
Okay, so what would be the difference between that and just walking over and grabbing it and taking it back to your house? You have to have something to put into the cart.
Like,
the world is huge. It's not
okay.
small.
That's what I'm asking.
The island I'm on sounds small, but it is huge. It takes 15 minutes just to walk from my house to where the ores are.
Okay.
And that's just if I don't take the cart. If I take the cart, it's longer.
And you, like I said, his is on an island. If you zoom out, there is literally a
planet.
whole planet
There's a
to
whole
explore.
planet.
So does that mean you have to trek for if you have to trek that long to get the ores, do you have to go to another place for the boat?
You have to.
You can make a boat.
What now? Do you get to determine where your house is?
Yes. Everything that it's an open world. It's an open world, so you can just pick any plot of land you want, stick a workbench on there as long as it's underneath the roof.
Okay.
But you can't make the roof unless you build a workbench.
It's a little weird.
A little weird.
You have to make the workbench, then you have to make the items around it to get the workbench to work.
Yeah. You can't use the workbench until you build a house to put the workbench in.
And I think
I got it.
I think it's one of the most interesting things about it is
it's a catch-22.
You get in the world, right? And they say, okay, your objective here is to slay these monsters beast.
Yeah.
Right? So that's your whole goal. The first beast is like...
Don't say what it is.
I'm not going to say what it is. It is like a block away from you.
Yeah, it's very close.
It's very close. I accidentally like.
He unleashed it a little too early.
And my house, I'm not kidding. My house was just like if I walked out of my door, he was right like to the right of me, and it led for some interesting gameplay because I couldn't walk out of my house without getting attacked. So I'm sitting here running away, and Dad's just laughing at me because I'm looking like an idiot trying to like gather freaking material while this thing is chasing me.
It turns out the level bosses, the first one is not that hard. I haven't seen the second one yet. I'm still in the Copper Age, and or the Bronze Age. It's a pretty involved game. It takes building the house is so much fun though because it's like a puzzle. You basically build your house out of these different shapes.
Okay.
Like you could have a 45-degree roof, or you could have a 26-degree roof, but there's pieces that you have to put all the way around it to build the roof.
Oh wow. Okay.
I've probably spent the most time in the game building my house, but I have a pretty involved house.
And you need to build a fence all the way around your property because
the forest moves.
You'll get this alert saying the forest moves, and then these creatures will just start coming attacking you in your house.
Oh, okay.
But the fence keeps them out.
And the fence will
No, it won't keep them out. It'll keep them at bay while you can attack them.
It'll keep them at bay because it's basically on a timer. They'll give up after a little bit, but they're for a low level. Tough. If you're not wearing full bronze, they'll kill you.
Oh, gotcha. That sounds like an interesting game.
It's very fun.
There's so much to it, and we haven't even found hardly any of it.
We haven't even found close to a 16.
Yeah, this game is giving Minecraft a run for its money.
This is making me want to do it.
People online are already posting stuff about this, and I have not seen a negative review about this game yet.
Yeah, I didn't see a single negative review. I didn't know Markham had already brought it up with you guys, and I was like, "Hey, what do y'all think about playing this game?" And you were like, "Well, I'm playing this game right now."
Well, here's the problem. Okay, with the survival games, we got on Cryofall, remember?
Yeah.
And that became a job.
It did.
It looks like Valheim has like tropes of Cryofall in it, but they're done right. With Cryofall, it was like to unlock anything, you had to get enough skill points, which in like the later levels, it was like you had to get 200 skill points to unlock one thing, and you had 7 different sections that all had like 6 things in it. So by the end of it, you'd have to get like 16,000 skill points, and it was just annoying.
And then only that, but the game was running even though you weren't logged in, so your generators would be out and your food would be gone and all that kind of stuff. With Valheim, you want to log out and turn off the game. It's off, and you can go back in and do whatever you need to do. Now you will have to feed your animals if you ever get animals, but you don't have to. You can just go hunt. You don't have to do that.
What studio developed this game?
Let me look it up real quick.
I'm curious.
It is. But I just can't stress enough how beautiful this game is.
Iron Gate Studio.
I bet it is.
Iron Gate Studio.
Iron Gate. Okay, I'm not familiar with them. I'd have to look that up.
I mean, you have to take everything in consideration, like the size of the game. It's not a very big game. The texture quality on all the assets are really low, so if you get up close, you'll see the pixelation, but you don't really pay attention to it. And there's in the background on the sky, you can see Yggdrasil running across the sky.
Really?
Yeah.
That's super cool. Okay, yeah. Iron Gate Studios, the Svenska company. They're in Skövde, Sweden.
Yeah, that makes sense why they know so much about Norse mythology.
Yeah. Which is kind of fit. What is he doing in here?
Shelly,
Sushi
let him in.
Oh. You big beluga. Man, it's cold as hell. The temperature way dropped. I don't even have the heat on.
Well, let's just hope it comes back up tomorrow.
Oh yeah, I know that to be the case. It's funny. The first things that you see on Iron Gate Studios webpage: open job positions. No open positions right now. I
can tell you, this game is pretty exciting.
And this is the only game that that they've developed. At least the only one that they've advertised as far as
I don't know who their programmers are, but
they're doing it right.
They are doing it right. Everything feels so realistic. It's not just like, you get into a game and everything feels kind of plastic.
Yeah.
When it rains, you really feel like, oh shit, it's raining. I can't do nothing today.
Oh yeah, and you get a. Did you tell them about the stats that happens when it rains?
No, I don't think you said that.
When there's status effects on everything.
Yeah, when it rains, you get 60% less stamina regeneration and 20% less stamina.
I was going to say I can see how that could affect your traction whenever climbing mountains and that sort of thing.
Yeah, but
or
there's
going
also,
up inclines.
Everything is also about how you feel, and they're all done with buffs. Like you have to go into your house every now and again and get rested. And once you have that rested identifier, then you get stamina back quicker. Your food also gives you buffs. You don't die from starvation in the game, which I think the game would be less playable if that were the case.
Yeah,
because you're constantly foraging for food.
It seems like you have enough to keep up with as it is without having to worry about eating on top of it or drinking.
Which you don't have to
What about using the bathroom, though?
That there's no realism there either. But it's still early access. You don't know. You may have to build an outhouse.
The only game that I know of that actually requires you to do that is the Sims. That's the only game where I've seen that you have a bathroom meter.
There is so much that you have to handle.
You have to piss or shit before you go in your pants.
If you had to worry about pissing and shitting,
I would die.
I would be like, oh god, I'm stuck in the woods.
I think let
me go take a crap on the tree.
I love building in the game.
Wipe my ass with a pine cone.
But building in that game is also so goddamn confusing because right now I'm trying to figure out a roof situation. My roof keeps collapsing. I have no idea why.
Oh, it has real physics on building houses. You can't just stick a wall in the sky and it's not going to work. It'll break.
Oh, that's cool.
So you have to build a proper foundation. You can't stick items together more than 2 that are floating in the air. If you're attached to the ground with one item and you run it across and the ground's on level, if it's sticking up more than 2, then the last one will break. So you can't just build your house in the sky and then take away the foundation.
Right.
But wood is such a commodity with building. Oh my god, it sucks building with wood sometimes.
Well, and I was building a fence and I noticed that I went across 2 and there was no ground and it would just collapse. And I was like, well, that's weird. But there really is physics there. If an enemy comes up and knocks your foundation down, your house will fall.
Oh.
Alex has done that to himself.
Oh, nothing
on purpose?
Me. No, it's just I was building and I was like, yeah, I'm doing great. And then all of a sudden, half of my house just collapses, and I was so pissed off.
And if something happens to your roof and it starts raining, the inside of your house will start to degrade.
Well, that makes sense too. Yeah.
If you don't have
water damage,
if you don't have a roof on it at all, your whole house will just degrade over time. Yeah. It's awful.
Okay, but my question is, when your house say it falls apart, do you get back your resources, or do you have to go get new resources?
Oh yes, no. You get your resources back. That's another nice thing.
And once you hit a certain area, do you have the option of getting homeowners insurance?
Here we go. I knew it.
You know what? I'll have to petition that to get it in the game. Yeah. I'll have to get the HOA involved.
Who would you buy it from? The Valkyrie?
No, you'd have to buy it from a boar. A traveling boarsman.
Who rules the Valkyrie?
I don't know.
I think Odin himself.
Exactly. So you'd have to get it from Odin. It would be Odin homeowners insurance.
It's the OA.
And so far,
OHA?
So far in the game, we've
OHI.
run into boars.
Oh, hi.
We've run into deer.
Oh, hi, Mark.
What is it? Okay, so deer, skeletons.
Skeleton?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, those things suck.
There's dungeons in the game, too.
Okay.
They're called the gray things.
The gray.
You have gray dwarfs, gray blights, gray brutes, gray shot. It's awful.
They're tree people is what they are.
So basically,
like ants?
What you're
Yeah,
I'm in.
they're
it's third person, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I am so in.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, do the graphics actually look like they're early generation 3D polygons, like PS1 era?
No.
Or PS2 maybe?
It's really hard to describe what this game looks like. Even if you look at the videos or a picture
This
of it.
is actual screenshots from inside the game.
Yeah, and you show me these earlier, and I just have a really hard time just imagining that even with the moderately, seemingly good textures that you're showing me from those, that this is still just a 500 megabyte game.
Oh no, it's I looked at it. Mine said it was about a gigabyte, but that was just allocating for space and all that junk.
Oh, okay.
But it was like I was looking at it, and I was like, holy crap! It's only
even at a gigabyte.
Yeah,
this game is amazing. I mean, it's 500 meg when I downloaded it. It said 500 meg, but even if it was a gigabyte, for what this game does, that's an amazing feat.
And it auto saves for you, so I mean,
and when you get in the game,
always nice.
Yeah, and the thing is, once you get into the game, you start terraforming the world seed that they get you. So like if you cut down a tree,
that was me.
If you cut down a tree, it remembers that tree's gone, and it doesn't come back. It's not like it spawns in again. Everything you do to the world is destructible.
Yeah.
So but on the other side of it, you can plant seeds and grow new trees. There is the only thing that I've seen spawn in is boars and deers, but even then, I think they spawn in because they're mating.
Oh.
I don't think they're spawning. I think if you were to kill all the boars, I don't think that they would come back.
Oh. Okay.
Interesting. So it has some population control in there too.
And there's scarce of resources too, because you go out in the world and say you go hunt down copper, you take down that copper node and it's gone.
Yeah,
it doesn't replenish.
And those copper nodes, they don't always have copper in them. Sometimes you could be mining for a copper node and not even get a single one. That's a little frustrating, but
the tin seems to be pretty decent.
I don't know. I haven't mined tin yet. I've only mined copper.
But it's an amazing game. I can't say enough nice about it. It's one of those that you just have to look at and go, this game really is pretty.
Yeah, I hope it takes off, man.
Me too. One of my favorite things to do is to go sit by the fire and cook meat and just stare off at the sunset or the sunrise. Because you'll go to sleep and you'll have Viking dreams, and it'll give you a little story when you dream.
Oh,
interesting.
That's cool.
Yeah. Well, it's not visual; it's just like words coming across, but it's always different.
But if you have
vivid imagination,
I'm sure you could see it.
Yeah. And there's boats in the game too.
Oh yeah, I kind of can't wait to explore the boats.
I have a raft. Did you unlock the boat yet?
But first, you have to walk to the location that has the oars. Then you have to walk to the boats.
Kick your ass.
Oh my gosh! You just keep popping them out.
Well, that's my my game of the week is Vanheim.
Very nice.
Game of the year.
RoboTuner is pregnant with ideas and thoughts.
Hey, it's part of the charm of the show. What can I say?
Yeah, it's almost like you're having rat babies.
Rat babies?
Yeah. I have way too many. Way too many.
Surprised you didn't say rabbit babies, because they're the ones that...
Rat babies are just the same.
I know, they're rodents too.
They have like 15 kids at a time.
Jeez.
What's your excuse?
Right.
I only had one, sir.
More like, what's your conspiracy? As we go to Sushi's conspiracy.
What about my news? It's like y'all skipped over the news.
Oh, news doesn't matter.
Okay.
This news.
Wait. This isn't the news song.
That's not the news. Y'all need to get Dustin's thing back.
Sushi news. There we go.
Sushi news.
The news.
Sushi.
All the news. All of it. Here on RoboTuner's Insignificant Podcast.
Yeah.
All the news, all the time.
Why haven't you started talking
right.
yet?
Sometimes it's right. Not all the time. Always fascinating. Sushi news. Go.
Scientists unveil first clone of endangered black-footed ferret. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service announced the successful cloning of a black-footed ferret.
Dead babies.
No, live babies. The first time an endangered U.S. animal has been cloned. The FWS said the female ferret, dubbed Elizabeth Ann, was cloned from the frozen cells of Willa, a black-footed ferret who lived more than 30 years ago. Black-footed ferrets were declared extinct in 1979, but 2 years later, a small population was found living in Wyoming on a farmer's property. Officials said all black-footed ferrets alive today are descended from 7 individuals. Officials said Elizabeth Ann will become part of a breeding program and will add some genetic diversity to the species. Without an appropriate amount of genetic diversity, a species often becomes more susceptible to disease and genetic abnormalities. We're that much closer to having dinosaurs, guys. That much closer.
So they've actually cloned one of these?
Yes.
Man.
I would 100%. I bet Jurassic Park is happening on some island somewhere.
Can you imagine if what we think dinosaurs look like if they actually pulled that off? If it came out all fucked up looking, and it just completely changes what we think about dinosaurs, like the Tyrannosaurus Rex with its little arms, right?
I know, yeah. Right?
What if that was all fucked, like 2 different dinosaurs or something, and then they really find out that the damn thing has huge hands and can pick you up and gobble you up?
Yeah.
Why would the genetic lottery, I never understood this, give this big giant animal teeny tiny little arms? Teeny tiny little arms.
I don't know.
Big old head and mouth.
Big old head and mouth, but teeny tiny little arms.
Yeah, just like the kiwi doesn't have any wings.
Yeah, because it's a fruit. You eat it.
I'm not talking about the fruit. I'm talking about the bird.
She can spit them out, too. She can spit them out.
There's her rat baby.
There's my rat baby.
Where's the New Zealand reference?
What?
Kiwi. That's what you call someone that's from
I
New
know.
Zealand.
I was talking about the fruit.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
And I was talking about the bird.
Did you know that they recently found a picture of a new species of penguin?
Called what?
Oh, it's not really like a new species. Actually, just a different colored penguin. It looks like a different pigmentation.
Looks like an albino.
But it's not like black and white. It's white and yellow.
It's an albino penguin.
That's an albino penguin. Let me see. That's an albino
penguin. But it's
penguin.
freaking cool, though, right?
Well, yeah, albinos.
Is his name Banana?
It's a genetic issue.
Hey, you're a genetic issue.
Oh my gosh, I am a genetic issue.
Ha.
Newly discovered fungi turns flies into zombies and devours them from the inside out. 2 newly discovered fungi species have a similar macabre mode of action. They eat flies alive while using them to drop spores on new victims. The related species is called Strongwellsia tigrinae and
that sounds like a bottle of wine.
Esterosa. Attack the fly species, and here's the fly species: Conosia tigrina and Conosia testacea.
Conosia testacea. That sounds like Italiano.
It sounds like Latin.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Which look like ordinary houseflies but undergo a horrific change once they are invaded by the fungi. The fungi eat one or more holes in the abdomen of the flies and then produce clumps of orange spores, which spread by dropping out of the holes. The infected, now zombie flies remain alive for days during this process, meaning they inadvertently spread the spores far and wide, particularly when mating with other flies. Meanwhile, the fungi continue to devour the flies alive. Do you think that bugs have hospitals and, like things that they do to try to get rid of their diseases? Is this like their version of AIDS or COVID?
I don't know, but I was going to say if this fungus is spreadable to any other species, I'd be scared shitless if it actually could reach humans.
What, are you gonna walk around and give out spores to everybody?
Well, isn't the Last of Us? Is that the name of it? Isn't that the one where their spores are being passed around?
Yes.
So I wonder if that's the same.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Same concept.
I think there's a version of zombie everything. Zombie ants, or in this news article that I'm reading, there's another thing on there that says, "See gross photos of zombie ants." And I'm like, I don't want to know. I don't want them to be zombie ants.
Of course, how is it passed? Is it bacteria or fungus? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
okay.
There's like little dots that go on the abdomen of the fly.
I think it's time to get some weed killer, some fungus killer.
Fungus killer?
Yeah. Like the stuff that you get from Home Depot?
We probably created this stupid fungus.
As an experiment on the flies?
No, as an experiment on something else, and then it turned into an issue killing flies.
Well, flies are a nuisance.
Because we just can't leave well enough alone.
Yeah.
Use it on the fucking cockroaches, man.
Says these spores have thick walls and may help them lie dormant over winter, infecting more flies when the insects become active in the spring. Danish researchers discovered dozens of fungi-infected flies during fieldwork in Jägersprees and Armager, Denmark. The flies were found in both rural areas and residential neighborhoods, hinting of a horror story struggle playing out in seemingly peaceful fields and yards.
Peaceful fields and yards.
So,
peas and carrots.
There you go.
Happy zombie flies.
Okay, I'm done with all of my news stories.
All right, now it's on to
Sushi conspiracy.
Shut up.
Sushi conspiracy. Sushi conspiracy.
Conspiring. Who is the milkman?
So, conspiracy theories about Texas weather crisis are running rampant with a boost from the right-wing media. Several people have died during winter storms in which brought snowfall and record low temperatures to Texas. Because the state is accustomed to its warm climate, the state's energy infrastructure was not prepared for the storm. The Electric Reliability Council of Texas, ERCOT, rolled out blackouts to protect the state's power grid, cutting off electricity for millions of people for days. But while Texans sought heat and shelter, another problem emerged online. Conspiracy theories of outlandish proportions spread in far-right online spaces, including Telegram channels run by promoters of QAnon, the baseless far-right conspiracy theory alleging the existence of a deep state cabal of human traffickers made up of Democrats and celebrities. I hate this because I don't think it has any kind of political association, but there is proof that celebrities are doing things with children in their, Hollywood celebrity community. Because all these kids have come out.
Obviously a thing, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Don't sit here and try to make us feel like this doesn't exist.
Well, speaking of the cabal, it's like the Time magazine article that came out talking about there was a secret cabal of this is Time magazine.
Right. Don't tell me there's a cabal of human traffickers made up of Democrats and celebrities. Okay, I get you don't want it to be associated with Democrats, but we know 100% there's a cabal with celebrities because tons of celebrity kids have come out and said it was a thing.
I don't think that I've ever heard it was just Democrats.
No, I've never heard that it was just Democrats. I've heard it's just people in general. But regardless, I hate these articles that come out like this and make it sound like it's not real when it 100% is.
Yeah.
But anyway, the claims include the false allegations that the snow in Texas was fake and somehow engineered by President Joe Biden, and that Bill Gates blocking the sun caused the bizarre weather.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, geoengineering.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Google search trends throughout the week demonstrate the scope of this misinformation. On Wednesday, fake snow was a top related search query for Texas snow.
Well, that was pretty real snow.
Yeah, it was real. On Thursday, Bill Gates' son was a breakout related query, meaning that the searches grew by more than 5,000%. In addition to conspiracy theorists on social media, traditional right-wing media outlets are promoting misinformation about the cause of the storm, blaming green energy. I haven't seen that.
I haven't either.
What?
They're blaming green energy for the storm. I'm blaming, I don't know, our weather patterns.
Yeah.
This
it
is
was the weather.
We've had snow here before. This isn't new.
Yeah.
Now, I would say green energy probably didn't help with it. When your wind turbines are frozen solid, that's not very helpful.
But that wasn't that wasn't what promoted the storm. That's what promoted our predicament was the green energy, because they didn't think about the fact that at some point in our future, we may experience a cold weather snap that goes below freezing.
I tell you what, if we could control the weather, then the weathermen would be more helpful.
No, if we could control the weather, we wouldn't have a state of emergencies for weather issues like this.
Yeah, then Pete Delkas would be out of a job pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw how far off they were on the weather forecast. It just kept changing and changing.
Yeah,
and
every
changing.
day it was new.
It was going to snow on Sunday and Wednesday, and then it was going to snow on Sunday and Tuesday and Wednesday. And then
yeah, the high today wasn't supposed to be 70. Okay.
No. Yeah.
It was supposed to be like maybe 50.
50 or 60s, yeah.
So, Yotam Ophir, an assistant professor at the University of Buffalo who researches media persuasion, said people will abuse the uncertainty of an emergency situation in order to promote their agendas. He said people. He didn't say right wing. He didn't say Democrats. He didn't say any of that shit. He said people, because it's true.
Yeah.
People. There are people who are not politically aligned that are making all these things happen. And I'm not talking about the snow. I'm not talking about the weather. I'm just talking about putting it out there, causing mass hysteria, creating conspiracy theories on baseless information. It's not politically aligned. Quit politically aligning things.
You know what's funny, though, is the more conspiracies they put out, the less likely it is that you could pick up on real conspiracies.
Right. I'm having a really hard time finding... I guess I just don't have the right search criteria. Sometimes I don't always...
You need to go to Reddit conspiracies, apparently.
I did, and I just don't see anything there that I think is worthy of mentioning, I guess. Like this I thought was worthy because I was like, come on, I was living in it. This was real snow. It wasn't real snow as what the northerners always get, but it was real snow to us.
Yeah, we get... Our traffic accidents increase 300-400% every time we get a light dusting.
Yeah.
Yeah, which just like what happened the other week on 35.
Yeah, when we hit the
120 car pileup. Yeah, that was awful, and the 6 people died.
That was one day. That was one day.
That was terrible.
The first day it happened. People just lose their mind in Texas when we get snow.
Yeah.
It's because we don't know what to do with it.
I mean, the same thing happens when it rains here, too. It's not that it doesn't rain here. It just doesn't rain all the time.
No, yeah, we're not used to it.
Yeah, we're just not used to it.
Well, the roads get real slick because they're just covered in oil. And
because it doesn't rain here all the time.
Right.
A fringe far-right conspiracy theory claiming that Bill Gates is trying to block the sun, loosely based on Gates donating money to a Harvard climate experiment called ScopeX, has been reimagined by climate change deniers in light of Texas catastrophe. Now, I can see that happening, but that doesn't mean that it's a far-right conspiracy. People are just nuts.
Is this the next generation of mouthwash?
What are you going for?
That doesn't even make sense.
Are you going for a
Go in the
record
corner.
today? You going for a record today?
Scope X. That's what I'm saying. The next generation of mouthwash.
It makes sense, but he's going for a record today.
Go in the corner. Go to the corner.
This is a comedy podcast. Come on.
No, it's an
Trying to lighten it up
insignificant
here.
podcast. Insignificant.
Yes,
okay?
but our genre is comedy. Always has been, always will be.
No, we're for kids, okay?
Yep. Shut up, intern. Before I do this.
Uh-oh, he turned you off. One Telegram channel falsely purporting to be Thomas McInerney.
Oh, God dang.
What?
He's been doing that to Sushi for a long time.
Yeah, he has.
What, the mute button?
No, turning her off.
Turning her off.
No, I meant the mute button. God. I mean to agree.
Hey, we're still together, aren't we? I must be doing. I'm doing something right, even
Yes,
if it
you
is
are.
to minimal standards.
You bring her water.
Oh.
But you don't get the right butter at the store.
Hey, she got me coffee today.
She did.
After I
know.
spilled it everywhere, but anyway.
After she gave you hate eyes.
One Telegram channel falsely purporting to be Thomas McInerney, a conspiracy theorist and retired United States Air Force general, referenced the bogus claim in a Thursday message to 164,460 subscribers. The post, which was forwarded to other channels and viewed more than 150,000 times, falsely claimed that the situation in Texas was a planned attack. McHenry is a Trump supporter, has previously pushed the claim that COVID-19 was a biological attack, but Defense News has reported that the account does not belong to the retired general. On a Telegram channel popular among QAnon supporters, the idea that the Texas blackouts were not a coincidence also reached hundreds of thousands of viewers. Another conspiracy theory spreading mostly on Facebook alleged that Biden had somehow manipulated the weather to cause the storm in Texas. Okay. I have a feeling this is one of those dumb memes that was going around that nobody takes seriously if they live here.
It's amazing how those end up in mainstream.
Yeah, I never saw it. I barely pay attention to that stuff. I just scroll fast because I don't want to see all that crap. Because
Yeah, I'm the same way.
Yeah, I just want to see puppies and kittens and
I'm
people's
tired of politics.
lives.
Tired of everything being politicized.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that theory was stupid. I don't know who that is. But there are people who are climate change deniers. With climate-related disasters, misinformation is often weaponized. Politically, Ophir, the University of Buffalo professor, told Insider. Just as the COVID-19 pandemic was downplayed by those with an incentive to do so, the Texas crisis, which is largely due to climate change, an already intensely politicized issue, has inspired a new wave of science denial. Beyond the ludicrous ideas spreading on social media, one massive piece of misinformation is being promoted by right-wing politicians and media outlets. Prominent Republicans, Fox News hosts, and conservative websites have pushed the idea that the wind and solar energy are to blame for Texas's disaster. So, the wind, it's a big deal. They froze up. That caused us to not have enough electricity.
Yeah.
What else is there?
Yeah, but one side.
And also that our power lines are way beyond.
If they were engineered in such a way where they were ready for the cold, that'd be one thing. But nobody was prepared for this.
Nobody.
There should be no politicization about this whatsoever.
No, it's strictly an infrastructure issue. I mean, I just don't understand why people can't see that.
I don't know.
There should be bipartisan support to fix problems, not make creative ways to be offended by problems.
Yeah.
So here's the other side of it. So Tucker Carlson promoted the idea that green energy caused the failure of the state's power grid. Republicans also blamed the electricity blackouts on frozen wind turbines. That's what they were.
Yeah. I mean, that's not inaccurate, but to say that it's inherently green energy is bad because of it, I mean, I'm not convinced.
This article is saying the majority of the Texas energy providers that went offline used fossil fuels, not green energy.
Well, the ones that would come up and run.
Yeah. But in the case of that, too, their motors froze up.
Yeah.
So it was still the same thing. Everything's freezing up.
And
the bottom line is...
Same with the water treatment plants.
We just weren't ready.
There just wasn't a plan in place for severe weather like this because environmental... things like this just don't happen. You plan your future by what's happened in the past. So, and you look at your farmer's almanac and you look and see how much snowfall has been there for the past 20 years.
Yeah.
Then you make sane assumptions about what might happen in the next year. And I have to say that it would be completely insane to prepare for a solid week of the entire state of Texas being in an ice storm.
Because it's never happened.
It's never happened.
So one could say that climate change was an issue. But people are denying that this is climate change.
Well, you can't call it inclement weather and then say there's no such thing as climate change because it is inclement weather. It's not normal climate.
But okay.
However,
are we the ones that are affecting the climate change, or is this a normal route that a planet goes through when it comes to climate?
Even those who say that they claim are climate deniers. Don't deny that there is man-made climate change. Nobody thinks that there isn't. What they're arguing over is how do we fix it? Do we give it to the government to fix, or do we take it upon ourselves to come up with new technology to help fix it? Because if you look at the carbon emissions from the United States, without any government intervention, it's been coming down on its own because of new and better ways, more efficient ways of doing things.
Exactly, because our ozone fixed itself. It's fixed. There's no hole.
I mean, so the argument is, and this is where politics shouldn't be involved, is, does the government need to put things in place to force people to follow green policy? And
yes,
I think if you let the government handle it, it's going to be as screwed up as all the other things that the government handles.
Okay, so this is where I think we're going to disagree, and I'll tell you why I think that. In the past, it's been proven that if we don't have regulations set up for companies to follow, they'll do whatever the hell they want to do. And they won't progress. And they won't make these new things so that they can do more.
That's not true, because if you look at the graph for the past 10 years of carbon emissions in the United States, they've gone down on their own without regulation. So
that's not true. It's all regulated.
No, it's not all regulated.
It is.
No, it's not.
I work in the dealership. I've worked in dealerships.
There are regulations on vehicles. There are regulations on some things, but there's not total government control over regulations.
No, it's not total government control, but they have rules and red tape and regulations that they have to follow.
Like California?
In different different states and different companies that if they don't, they get fined a buttload of money.
Yes. And I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about taxes on companies for the amount of carbons they use.
Oh.
Based off of some arbitrary system that the government puts in place.
Okay, that's not what I'm talking about, though.
Well, that's what
I think
I'm talking
that
about.
regulations, the regulations I'm talking about, yes, I think our government needs to come up with rules and regulations that companies need to follow, and in order for us to keep progressing towards a better Earth experience, whatever you want to call it.
Better environment. Yeah.
I just don't think that carbon taxes are the way to go.
No, I don't think carbon taxes are the way to go.
You're gonna slow down innovation, and you're gonna cause slow maturing technologies from growing into something substantial that
Right.
Yeah,
look
just
at the
another
car industry.
Just another bureaucratic process.
Yeah. So what do you think? Do you think that the Texas weather was engineered?
Yes.
And it was an attack on Texas?
Yes.
No.
Do you think that the Texas weather was due to climate change? Are you a climate change denier? Email us.
Yeah, let us know
Give
your
us
thoughts.
A call.
Robotuner2020@gmail.com, or you can leave a voicemail at 682-325-1379.
Or you can give us a little kiss on the cheek. That works too.
Only if they know us.
No sense at all.
I don't know why.
But does it have to? We're
Why
such
are
an insignificant podcast that it doesn't have to make sense.
Oof.
Okay. I
All
got you
right.
there. All right. So that was very interesting. Thank you, Sushi. So is it time for Stump the Robotuna? Or in some cases Stump the Thunder K?
It's Stump the Robotuner. We're not changing the name. Stop it. Today is a special edition of Stump the Robotuner. It's all about video games.
Oh, God.
Okay.
I'm gonna lose.
All right.
Battlestar Galactica for the win. That's it. That's the answer.
I've never played any of the Battlestar Galactica games.
Wow.
All right. You ready?
Ready?
Do y'all remember the rules?
Yes.
It's been a while.
Did y'all play Stump the Robotuner last week?
No, we didn't.
No, we had a really short podcast last week.
We went for an hour.
Oh, yeah, I guess we did.
Yeah.
Shorter than normal.
Yeah.
All right. What was the first commercially successful video game?
Okay.
Who was first?
I was.
Pong.
He started saying Thunder Cave before he said Alex.
Pong.
Correct. I thought you said you were going to get any of these.
I just know that one.
Okay.
That one's
But it's not the first video game. That belongs
No.
to something else, but I'm not saying what it is in case it's a question.
Okay. It was just the first commercially successful video game. What is the best-selling video game of all time?
Robotuner.
Uh-huh.
Super Mario Brothers 3?
No.
Oh, shit. Somebody dethroned it.
Is this all old games?
No.
There's only one other game I can think of off the top of my head that may have knocked it off its...
Sold, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, it just says, what is the best-selling... Oh, yeah, selling video game of all time?
Alex the Intern, Skyrim.
No.
Okay. That's up there though.
Thunder K. Doom?
No, it's called. What do you think it is?
GTA 5.
No, Minecraft.
I was gonna god dang guess that, but I was like, no, it can't be that simple.
What year was the Super Nintendo Entertainment Center released?
Robert Turner.
Thunder K.
God, I don't know.
No, I heard Thunder K say it
Okay,
first.
Thunder K.
I'm going to blow this. 1987.
No.
No. Robot Tuner. 1991.
Correct.
You said, the Super NES.
Oh, I thought you said NES.
No, Super NES.
I said Super Nintendo Entertainment System.
I would have guessed
System.
91 then.
You're all excited. Woo!
He's like,
He's
I
got
got
one.
it.
He's got one.
He's going to win this time. I know it.
What is the highest selling game console to date?
Thunder K.
Mm-hmm.
PlayStation 1.
No.
Damn. It's up there, though.
Today. When was this made? When was this article made?
I can't tell you. It's not an article.
No, when was this one made? Because it says to date.
Oh,
meaning
just answer the question.
I'm going to guess RoboTuner.
Yes.
The PlayStation 2?
Correct.
Yes.
To date would have been October of 2020.
Okay.
Yeah, because internationally
that's
it was on the market for 13, almost 14 years before they finally discontinued it in all regions.
I think PS5 is going to be way up there now.
Because
Because
it just came out, and not a lot of people have been able to buy it yet.
It's still sold out.
Well, that's supply chain problems.
I know. I'm just saying it's still sold
That's
out.
COVID supply chain problems right there.
But is it still sold out? Yes.
It is
That
because
doesn't
they
mean
can't produce enough of them.
Can I not just be right for once? Shut up.
I only know one person who's got his hand on one that he actually bought from a legitimate source and not a scalper. And actually, he's the only person, period, I know of that has one.
Is the legitimate source the crackhead behind a Walmart? Because I don't consider that a legitimate source.
No.
Or is white? Or his lips white?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
It's my friend Dante that does the old guys in the garage video stream. He has a PS5.
Nice.
But no, I haven't asked him where specifically or who specifically he bought it from.
What year was Nintendo founded?
Alex the Intern.
Oh my gosh.
1896.
No.
I was close though.
RoboTuner? 1879?
No.
Thunder K. 1897.
No. It's 1889.
89.
Who was the closest without going over?
I was 10 years off.
I was the closest.
Did you go over?
I said 1896.
Yeah.
Then you went over.
Oh, you said closest without going over? Then yeah, you.
It was.
No, Matt.
This
Matt.
Price is Right rules, man.
No, Matt was the closest. without
Nobody
going over.
got that one, okay?
Yeah, none of us get points.
But I knew it was. I was new in the 1800s because.
Yeah.
Because when Nintendo was around, the Ottoman Empire was still around.
Oh, okay.
What did they sell?
Furniture.
I don't want to
appliances.
I don't want to say what Nintendo sold as their
Nintendo.
Nintendo
They're like Kindle
sold
with
because it may
Nintendo.
be another question.
Okay.
I don't want to give it away.
Blizzard Entertainment is most well known for
Thunder
what
K.
video game franchise?
Warcraft.
Correct.
Alex the Intern. Warcraft.
Thunder K.
Diablo. Blackstone.
Hearthstone.
What video game company collaborated
Collaborated?
Murder get 'em all.
with Sony on the PlayStation?
Thunder K.
Yep.
What was the question?
You can't do that, man.
You don't get a chance to
Actually,
answer that
ask it
one.
again.
What video game company collaborated with Sony on the PlayStation?
I know this. Dang it.
The original PlayStation? PlayStation 1? Okay.
Alex?
RoboTuner.
Sorry.
I know the answer to this.
Okay.
Nintendo.
Yes.
Yeah, because originally it was going to be a Nintendo product.
Yes, it was.
But Nintendo decided to end the partnership for whatever reason. And there are some prototype Nintendo PlayStation 1s around. There was one that was sold in the last 5 years or so, and the guy sold it for close to $1 million, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it could take CD-ROMs or cartridges. Yeah.
Also the Philips CDI. That's up there somewhere. I don't know.
No, it's not. It's one of the worst selling consoles ever.
No, I'm just saying. Didn't they do a partnership with Nintendo
Why
at one
don't they
point?
have Sega on here anywhere? I'm
Well,
really
Nintendo did have
confused.
those.
They just did. It was a Sega question right there.
That wasn't Sega.
There were those awful CDI games that was released that
Oh,
were
you're
Legend
right.
of Zelda based.
Oh yeah.
What product did Nintendo first release before taking on the world of video games?
Robotuner.
God dang it.
Hanafuda playing cards.
Correct.
You were right.
And they also had a deal with Disney. They did a couple of Disney sets.
The United States
60s.
Air Force used what gaming console to create a cluster supercomputer?
Thunder K, PlayStation 3.
Correct. Woo, you're so excited.
Nice.
Actually, I didn't know that. Why did they use it?
I didn't know that
Because
either.
of their processor design, they were easily meshed together.
Oh.
There was a talk about their cell type technology on PlayStation 3 that they were claiming that it was the future and like TVs would have it, and that they would all share the processing power between the different devices.
That sounds awful, but yeah.
Hospitals also leased out the PlayStation 3s for their processing capability.
I never knew that.
See, this is why you don't give a guy who's really
I have
big
a
into technology.
PlayStation 3. I have the backwards compatible.
Yeah, the original model that's is the 60 gig that's backwards compatible with PlayStation 2 games.
This dude was selling it on Craigslist, and I was like,
oh, I remember that.
Holy
How much
shit.
did you pay for it?
$100.
Yeah, and this is the one where the introductory retail price was $600.
Yeah.
I remember.
And he gave me games too, and the controllers and everything.
Have you looked on Evil Bay or anything like that to see how much it might be going for in today?
Oh no, I haven't done that yet.
Do you remember? Because you took me to go get it with you.
You know.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I remember you picking that up, and I was like,
I was so excited.
Yeah, and after the second year, Sony stopped manufacturing that model because it was too costly.
Yeah,
and
they went different processors in it.
And they went to the slimmer model that was only PlayStation 3.
And it wasn't backwards compatible.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
it just had a larger hard drive.
I always wanted one, and I had dated a guy who had one, and I was kind of jealous that he had it. So when
gotta make sure that drive stays good in it. Cause you can't replace them.
Oh, I know. Okay, what food was the character Pac-Man modeled after?
Robotuner?
Yes.
A pizza.
Correct.
I was gonna say cheese.
I am a pizza.
All right, that's it.
That's it?
That's 10.
Well, who won?
I'm sorry, you've been dethroned.
Yay! I told you I wasn't gonna win.
You know what? There's lots of questions on this one. There's like,
how close were we?
Oh, he had 5 and you had 3.
Oh, we weren't that close.
They were 2 points away.
oh
but
wow, I'm gonna keep this one. I'm gonna star this sucker.
All right.
We're gonna do this one
Stars,
next
baby.
week too.
You know, so I knew some of those questions. I just wasn't fast enough. But I did know the Nintendo.
We'll get
one.
faster.
You know, one thing that we haven't talked about on the show.
That's what she said.
Lately.
Is
that
what?
I would have liked to have talked about in the beginning, but we started getting into
the storm.
Yeah. Is that you and I have been on this keto diet for
going on 2 months now.
Going on 2 months.
We started January 1st.
And I have lost I think I've lost a lot, to be honest.
Yeah.
Cuz I think I was really in the upper of the digit that I'm in.
Yeah.
And I'm getting getting towards the middle.
Yeah.
So I would say I probably lost about 15 pounds.
And that's awesome.
I'm plateauing right now.
I think I've lost about 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see it in my face. I can see it in my face that I've lost weight.
Yes, the depression is there. I can see it in your face.
Yeah, because I
the
keep
food depression.
I keep telling Matt, I'm like, I want potatoes. I want
Dr. Pepper.
No, I never say Dr. Pepper. I say I want macaroni and cheese and potatoes. I want potatoes so bad.
All the stuff that's high in carbs.
Yeah. I finally found bread that we can eat, and I offered it to my brother to see if he could eat it.
To Thunder K?
Yeah.
Your only brother? Well, actually, no. He's not your only brother.
Ooh, good thing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, so this bread?
Anyway, it's 1 carb per piece of bread, which is amazing. So, you know, I'm really...
I just called to say I love you.
Oh, my God. Anyway, so I think that we're doing pretty good on it, and I'm hoping to drop at least another 20 pounds between now and 2 months from now.
Yep.
Just make sure
I'll be happy if I lose 10 more pounds.
Just make sure you throw it in the trash. I don't want to step on it.
Okay.
All right, well, let's call an end to this debacle. This was a good show, peeps, and I'm glad we were able to all get back together today. And as always, if you have any subjects you'd like for us to discuss, you can drop us a line at robotuner2020@gmail.com. Again, that's robotuner2020@gmail.com. You can also call and leave us a voicemail at 682-325-1379. And you can follow us on Facebook and Instagram at The Robotuner, as well as on YouTube for our live streams and our past video stream occurrences. Until then, we is out of here. Peace, yo, Red Pants.
Yeah, yo.
And we're off.
And we're off.
All right. Killing the live stream. Thanks to anyone who joined, if anyone at all.
Bye.
Bye to YouTube.
Bye to tubes.
Yep.